Hello everybody and welcome to our anticipated releases for the month of June in the year 2020. My name is Nick.
And I'm Travis.
And we got a couple of surprisingly good games. We were kind of talking last month how it wasn't going to be really that exciting of a month, but after we saw the list of games, we were just like, actually, there's some great ones. Obviously, there's a couple of remasters, but overall, I would say that we're really excited about this month. And Travis, would you like to start us off with some cool game that you want to talk about?
Sure. So, as everyone knows, Nintendo loves to just have a really weird, quirky idea, and on paper, it just looks incredibly stupid. And I'm really interested to see how the actual gameplay goes. And they are coming out with Ninjala, which I'm happy to hear that it's a free game. So it's got to at least be worth that kind of money. I was watching some gameplay of it from Game Explain. They were playing it online, and it looks like everything that could set me off to just get a little ragey is just sprinkled in there, because you can get literally comboed to death and you can't really do much about it. But at the same end, you can also combo someone to death, and that's always fun.
Yeah, that's true. Now, the vibe that I was getting when watching it is it kind of reminded me of Splatoon, but the fact that it's free to play does always make me... In this case, it's Nintendo, so they're not usually as guilty of doing it, but just free to play always sets off an alarm in my head like, okay, what's the catch? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, we'll see. Maybe I can see them installing the whole pay-to-win thing, and then it gets stupid, but...
For this game, I don't think the pay-to-win, but I'm guessing it's going to be it's either going to be really bad with, like, cosmetics or something. Again, one of the reasons why I usually don't like these kinds of games, at least the free online kind of games, is because they're usually really greedy in the way they're trying to get money from you instead of taking money up front, so... you guys know how I feel about that already, but... In any case, it is Nintendo. If there's any company that's going to go against the grain and do whatever the hell they want, it's Nintendo. So, I mean, it looks fun. It's giving off Splatoon vibes. So, if you're going after a game like that, I think this would be right up your alley.
Exactly, because, like, I also got a bit of a Splatoon vibe from it, and Splatoon was another one. When I saw the trailer, I'm like, this game's dumb. And then once I actually got my hands on it, I'm like, it's actually pretty fun.
Yeah, it's actually pretty fun. And what I think is kind of cool about it is you are battling as a ninja, so it's gotta be cool,
ninja,
or at least semi-cool.
Dangerous bubblegums, you know, so I guess they're all water type.
You get gum power-ups. That's a unique Nintendo thing, I'm sure.
Exactly.
Alright, well, I'm going to talk about another one that is very odd in Nintendo's favor, but it's one that I'm without a doubt picking up, and that is the Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics. This is pretty much taking every board game or, like, childhood game that you remember playing, like Connect 4, chess, Mancala, even, like, card games like Solitaire, Spider Solitaire, and whatnot. Even, like, some action games, or more action-y games like slot car racing and whatnot. And they're just throwing them just on a game and letting you play whenever you want to online with your Switch. So nothing really new is happening with this game. It's pretty much a collection of board games and some other stuff sprinkled in, like board games and card games. But I'll be honest, I couldn't care less because it looks fun as hell. Because from what I'm seeing here is you can, if you want to ever play chess, which I love playing chess, you can just go online and just play somebody in chess. And in the same way you can also play Solitaire, you can also play Speed, you can also play like pretty much any game that you remember like growing up with, you can play with this game. And while it is board games and it is a video game console, I don't really care. I think this is pretty freaking exciting. So it's coming out this next month in June, and I don't know the exact day off the top of my head. But yes, no, this is a game that I'm definitely picking up.
I mean, the only question is does it have 52 card pickup?
I do not think it has 52 card pickup.
Can I just drop my Switch and then pick it up and win?
Sadly, no. But it has Shogi. It's got Chinese chess. It's got blackjack. It's got Texas Hold'em. It's even got tanks. It's even got battle tanks from I think like Wii Play or something like that.
That's pretty sweet. Because I also, when they revealed that in that mini direct, I was like getting all giddy, and I'm like, why? It's freaking checkers. Like, it's not revolutionary
it's checkers
at all.
And chess. It's nothing new, but it's just like it's just fun to play. And the fact that you could, there's also like for 4-player games, you can actually play like 4 players at once. I don't think I saw Euchre on there, but if so, Euchre is one of my favorite card games.
I freaking love Euchre.
That was one thing we never found other people that know how to play Euchre, so we couldn't play.
Yeah.
We'll play it at some point. If not, we hack the game, we install
We'll just
Euchre
stream
on
it and
there.
go online, and we'll be a team and kick everybody's butt.
Exactly. Another one that I'm going to actually loop in here with this one, because we talked about it last month, but it turns out that it's coming out this month, is Yeast Memories of Celceta. And I'm touching on it quickly because I learned some new things that are some fun facts for you if you want to know about it. So Yeast Memories of Celceta is technically Yeast 4. But what I learned about it is that there was, when Falcom was creating Yeast 4, they pretty much outsourced it, but not as one game, but as 2 games, to 2 different companies. And then they kind of got the games together and were just like, we'll make our own. Just combine the best of the 2 games, and they created this. So Yeast Memories of Celceta, the final version, is pretty much Yeast 4-3. It's the 3rd Yeast 4, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, either way, it's another game in the Yeast series. Adol Kristen, this one, he actually wakes up with amnesia, or some form of amnesia, and so while that's not a new concept and whatnot, and while we mentioned it before about the story not being anything spectacular if you're trying to go for the story aspect, one thing that's universally like adored with this game is pretty much the gameplay of it. And there's a lot of elements that was introduced in Yeast Memories of Celceta that was kind of polished, refined, and almost perfected when it came down to Yeast 8. So for people who did actually like Yeast 8 when it came out for Switch, and now this game is coming out for PS4, it might be worth revisiting because of the fact that it was a Vita exclusive. Not a ton of people played this game, but from people who had a Vita, this was one of the games that you would usually talk to and people would say, no, this is a game that you guys have to try out. So gameplay-wise, fantastic. Story-wise, be a little skeptical going in, but otherwise, I hear it's a very fun entry in the Yeast series, and a lot of things that you appreciate about how well done they are down the road started with this game.
Okay, yeah, because I've just started dabbling into Yeast 8, so I've been really enjoying the combat, so if it's something similar, I'm sure I would enjoy this little game too.
Yeah, like with flash moves and flashcards, I believe some of that stuff got started in this game. I don't know for a fact on that.
Okay.
But what I do know is the fact that, and I keep reiterating it, you got to be skeptical of the story, because Yeast 8 is pretty solid story-wise. I know that that's not a common... It is a common criticism that the story isn't fantastic, but because I am a new fanboy of the Yeast series, I do plan to play this one, and this actually is one of the games that I will drop everything for.
Let's see, so is it my turn for game 2?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my game 2, I had no idea was even being a thing, honestly. When Nick gave me the list of games, I'm like, is this actually what I'm thinking it is? And then when I looked up a trailer, I'm like, it is. It's Burnout.
Burnout Paradise.
Paradise. Remastered. Yes, I'm like, I know it's remastered and it's a Burnout game. That's all you really need to know. You have really cool cars. It's HD. You ram people. You get boost. You ram more people. I'm assuming they have crash mode because that was the best in Burnout 3.
Oh, yeah.
I've really been out of date on the Burnouts lately, but honestly,
I don't think I've played one since Takedown.
I'm debating getting this just because I freaking love Burnout 3, and it's a little outdated at this point.
One of the things I also like about the Burnout series is it's never... Because you know, like, the main car games that are coming out are, like, the Forza games or, like, the Need for Speeds.
Right, it's kind of like a nice hybrid between, like, a Mario Kart racing game because you have the stupid, like, ramming, killing people, and getting boost stuff, but it's still no items, so you're not just like, okay, I just
it's more arcadey,
them, so it's a bunch
I think is a good way to put it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. It's, like, more of, like, an arcade racer where you're going super fast, and that's, like, the action for it. It's not really going for... Well, yeah, it is kind of realistic. But, again, like, Burnout... Like, at least the fun that I had with Burnout was never trying to collect all the cars or make it look as cool as possible. Again, it was to make the biggest explosion. Like, I feel like the intentions... Like, you're going in, like, with a different mindset if you're playing, like, a game like Need for Speed than you're going in for a game like Burnout.
Oh, yeah. No, and my mission every time I played Burnout was to have the most kills. I didn't care if I actually won the race, but my God, if I was playing multiplayer with you, you better bet that I'm going to be on your bumper pushing you into every railing possible.
Oh, absolutely.
I think my record's 52 kills in one round.
Okay, that's actually kind of impressive, though.
Thank you. Yes, muscle series is the way to go because you can kind of hit those railings and not actually die on like the sports series, which you have to be a really good driver. I mean, it's easier to get kills, but holy crap. One little...
Yeah, and I think what's kind of funny is, well, first of all, we do want to mention, as the trailer has been probably noting, it does include all of the post-release DLC, so that's nice, so you won't have to actually pay extra for it, and it is EA, so not having to pay extra for DLC is very nice. But one of the things that I do, and one of the things that's kind of funny, is after doing some research on this, the main complaint is the fact that it's not coming to other consoles. So far, at least from my understanding, it is released for PC originally, and now it's releasing for Switch. The fact that the Switch is getting a port before Xbox One and PS4, I find hilarious.
It's just clearly the superior console, Nick.
It's more powerful, that's for sure.
Okay, how about you take a walk with your PS4? How much power does it really have?
Exactly. Travis, you're absolutely right. You know what? I'm gonna get you on the phone with Nintendo. Get Reggie on the phone. Just be like, Reggie's patch
gone.
Me through to Doug
It's
Bowser.
Bowser now.
Well, yeah, I'm saying Reggie still has pull. You know he still has pull.
Probably.
All right. So that's Burnout Paradise. I'm gonna move on to the one that I'm just gonna lay my cards out on the table, and you guys are gonna maybe roll your eyes at me for this, but this is, without a doubt, one of my most anticipated games coming out this year. And that is Spongebob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. This game is a remake. A full-blown HD remake of the PS2, GameCube, and I believe original Xbox, Spongebob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. Most people blew off the game as kind of again, it's a game based on a children's TV show, so they kind of blew it off. Oh, it wasn't that good. And as we talked about, like I believe in our bracket, it kind of developed a cult following for being a really, really good 3D platformer, and I still stand by it. It's probably one of my favorite 3D platformers still. So I played it for the GameCube. I really, really enjoyed my time with it. But what's nice about it is the fact that it's really clear that people started to realize that this game was actually good. It's not the fact that it was just based off of a TV show that it was good. It was actually a really good game, and they're giving it the full-blown HD treatment for it. And I honestly think that that's a really cool thing for them to do, because of the fact that it's not just going to be an upgrade in the visual, in the graphical department. It's also going to be an aspect where they're going to bring in multiplayer. They're bringing in horde mode, where you can do with multiple people. There's 3 new characters. I believe that's going to be Mr. Krabs, Plankton, and I can't remember who the third one is. Maybe Larry the Lobster? I cannot remember for the life of me.
Plankton so bad.
Yes, but you can play as multiple different characters, a horde mode, and they're bringing back originally cut boss fights as well. I believe Robot Squidward was one of the cut boss fights as well. And the nice cherry on top of it is they're not charging $60. From what I saw on Amazon, they're only charging $30 for this game. So everything is being crossed off my list when it comes down to a remake, where it's I've already played this game before, I don't want to pay it full price. Got it. Not full price. I want to see everything in HD glory. Yep, you got it. I want new characters and more ways to play. Yep, you got it. Everything that I've seen so far of this game is fantastic. I'm going to wait to save my final judgment to when I actually play the game and actually see how the game feels, because that's a huge aspect of 3D platformers. But oh my god, it looks so beautiful. So it was one of my favorite games on the GameCube. It's most likely I'm going to like this game, at least some aspects of it. And if I can pull Pat out of wherever he is, or even if he's watching it, Pat, you know you're not going to be able to avoid me forever. We're doing this game. We're doing this game for the channel.
I mean, if it has online capabilities, I'm 100% in with you.
Exactly.
It's only $30, so I don't care of dropping that money. I don't even ever have to play the actual platforming part. I'll just do horde mode with you, and it'll be great.
Oh, the horde mode is... Oh my god, it's so good! And honestly, the horde mode, just from what I've seen, looks really cool. And they're also adding, new moves. For example, I saw a trailer where Sandy has, her lasso ability. And one of the, you'd have to land before you would pull out your lasso. But there was, a move that Sandy did while she was still in the air hovering from her lasso. Then she lassos an enemy from in the air and throws him off a building. I'm just oh my god. If they're giving them new moves too, I'm going to flip shit. I don't know. This is going to be one... It's either going to be an amazing game or just it's either going to blow my mind or just be meh. And I'm hoping that it blows my mind. It's one of the games that I'm letting myself get excited for.
Isn't that exciting when you're so excited for a game that you get to do that?
Yeah, it's very rare. It's very rare that I get this excited for a game, and this is one of the SpongeBob games that is kind of universally loved. The other SpongeBob games did not get the same treatment. I'll just leave it at that. Other ones were not as good. This one is very good, and if you haven't played the original, there's enough time to play the original. You got till June 23rd.
Game on.
Game on.
Okay.
All right.
So last
Bring
but
us on
not
home,
least.
Travis.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys have heard of this game or not. It's a PS4 game. People have kind of been talking about it for a couple days now. Last of Us Part 2 is finally coming out. I'm just so excited. I love these type of games where you have to be more stealthy versus... Like, the funny thing is usually when I'm playing games, I love to just be the, sun's out, guns out, just going and blaze of glory, but I love stealth missions so much. I think it's because I'm, like, doing the exact opposite of what I like to do most of the time, that it's, like, a different kind of thrill. And in The Last of Us, you don't want to pick fights, like, ever.
Oh, yeah, you want to be really careful if you actually are going to pick a fight.
Exactly. So... I just love the series, and then the stories are so good.
Like, if you miscalculate any of those fights, you're screwed.
Oh, I know. Or if you're just, like, stumbling around and then you accidentally break a bottle off a table, you're like, oh, frick. Mm-hmm. That's not good.
Oh, yeah. No, when it comes down to Last of Us, I never was really one for the gameplay aspect. I'll be honest, I'm extremely impatient when it comes down to these games, so I know that at least the gameplay style is not for me. And this was already at the point where I was like, I'm an intellectual. I think that all these zombie games is all way overdone, and Last of Us probably just follows a trend. Then I actually looked at the story for the game, and I'm like, wow, I was a freaking idiot. So if it's not extremely clear, it doesn't matter that Last of Us the original had zombies and was post-apocalyptic. The game's freaking good. It's really freaking good. If it's not clear with all the hype that was coming up to Last of Us Part 2. But the huge elephant in the room that I don't like talking about, because I've talked about it a couple times on stream, but it's really necessary to be mentioned. Be very, very careful if you go to any section or anything on Twitter, anything on Reddit, anything where they discuss Last of Us Part 2, because you're at risk of getting it spoiled the crap out of it. Getting the whole game spoiled on you because of the fact that there's some people extremely angry with the way that Naughty Dog treats its employees. There's a lot of aspects that go into it. It's not just the fact that Naughty Dog came under fire for all the crunch that they put their workers under. The fact that this game probably would have been finished a year earlier if they didn't treat their employees so bad. Like, there's reports saying that if they still had the staff from the original Last of Us, that the game would have been finished way earlier, but it's because of the fact that they treated their employees so bad and rushed it out, they left and moved on to somewhere else. And because of that, they had to spend more time training newer people to handle Last of Us Part 2. So the whole game industry as a whole has a terrible problem with, like, crunch culture. Like, Activision Blizzard is terrible with it. Rockstar is terrible with it. EA is obviously bad with it. Ubisoft and Bethesda are bad with it. Pretty much everyone's bad with it. So it's kind of weird that this one is being so focused on for Naughty Dog specifically. But Naughty Dog, if you think about it, really hasn't had bad games between any of the game series that they've worked on. So this game series, from reviewers that are coming out, they're saying that it's really good, but it is going to be a little bit different of a route that the story takes, because the early trailers were showing it more of a story of, like, Ellie and her girlfriend. It seems like that her girlfriend was either killed or kidnapped or taken away from her, so it seemed to be more of, like, a story of revenge and in that kind of aspect instead of just straight up survival and, like, preserving the human race. So I think it's a little bit different of a story as well. I don't know. There's a lot of weird aspects that came to people getting extremely mad about the conditions that this game is happening in. So if you look at any trailers, if you look at any threads on Twitter, Reddit, Facebook, or anything, just be prepared, because there's people that are pissed about this game. People who straight up, I've heard the excuse of, I'm trying to save people from spending their money on this crap. Like, holy shit, that is not cool. For me, I'm still saving my judgment till the game comes out, but I just want to warn you guys, there's a lot of angry people out there. A lot of angry people.
That sucks.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, because I know it's just so stupid when these type of things happen. Because I know when Borderlands 3 was coming out, people were getting super pissed off because of how things went down with that company.
Well, also, Randy Pitchford's just kind of an asshole.
Oh, he is an asshole, but I'm like, you can't freaking raid every single sale because people are assholes. Because a lot of the top heads are assholes. That's how they got to the top.
Yeah, you don't get ahead by doing, like, you gotta step on people to get ahead, at least when it comes down to the certain things like that.
Exactly.
And you're seeing people finally get pushed back against, like, crunch culture and whatnot that's going on, at least in the video games industry. So, I don't know. It's just very weird for me to see it for this game getting a majority of the heat that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Because before, like, I know they got it, like, Rockstar got it for, like, Red Dead 2. I know that, I think EA got it for Battlefront 2 as well because of the massive overhaul that had to happen. And let's be honest, I'm not defending these companies. I'm just warning you guys that it's out there, because I honestly think that if somebody works over 40 hours a week, they should be compensated way more than just time and a half or double pay, because you're really, like, I've seen overwork kill way too many people and just completely drain them, especially in an industry like this where creative integrity is really important. So I'm just warning people, if we want to be more positive on it, like, the game, first of all, like, graphically, I think it's obvious. The game looks fantastic. The gameplay aspects look to be the exact same, a little bit different of a story route, or at least reason for the story, but it's still going to be following the story of Ellie and Joel, and it is going to take place in the events that happen after the end of the original Last of Us. You will probably have time to beat the original Last of Us if you want to do it before Last of Us Part 2, or if not, I would at least watch, like, all the cutscenes or something, just to at least know what happens, because otherwise you'll probably be pretty confused, because it is a sequel.
I'm so excited.
But yeah, I just don't get it, man. I don't get why everybody's going crazy about this game of all things, of this one.
I think it's just...
It's my PS4 theme right now. My PS4 theme is Last of Us Part 2.
Wow, I can't believe you give into this kind of culture, Nick.
I know, right?
How dare you?
Some person worked 50 hours on this one PS4 theme. You can tell because of the flickering lights. Anyway, that's enough for the rant about Last of Us Part 2. We're super excited about it, and please be respectful in the comments. Don't try to spoil it for other people. And
Spoiler,
we'll be all
zombies
good.
are there.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be zombies. It's not a big spoiler, though. If you watched one trailer, you would know there's zombies in this game.
Nah. And Ellie's the character.
Okay, well, that's going to be it for us. Hopefully you guys hopefully you found this very informative, and I hope you guys... Oh, forgot to say, there's a comment section below. Let us know what you think. It's a lot of remakes and remasters that are coming out for this next month too, at least for games that we're excited about. But it is worth it to get excited about some of those games too if you haven't had the chance to play them already. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. And oh yeah, games excited. I'm just gonna retry this. Let us know what games you're excited about, and also have a fantastic day.
Aw, thanks, buddy. You too.
You're welcome.
Bye.